To begin with, I want to show you how to anchor different elements. This is more than just a composition tool, and I use it more than any other. It isn't a starting point. This method is about the process of creating a piece of artwork. It's a way of reacting to everything that is already present on the canvas. It is a way of observing every line and colour so you can place your next mark on the canvas, knowing that your entire image will be a unified composition. To give you this amazing knowledge, I'm going to begin by talking about the use of text in images. This will lead beyond the world of text, but it is a necessary starting point. As discussed earlier, this composition doesn't work because the main element, the figure of the woman, is too far from the centre. In a piece of artwork like this, it can feel as though aspects of the piece are drifting to the edge of the canvas, far away from where the viewer's eyes naturally rest. In most cases, a more central composition would be preferred. When we looked at the rule of thirds, the most prominent areas were not on the very edge of the canvas. Sometimes a piece will have a border and nice decoration around the edges, but in general the edges aren't the most important part of the painting. And when we place something there, it isn't going to be the first thing that's noticeable. It might seem like a good idea to avoid placing anything too close to the edge, but there are always exceptions. It is possible to have a good composition while having an important element close to the edge. I'm going to show you how. This is a fairly standard composition. There is an image of the earth and the word peace is placed above it. The composition is fairly obvious. If I had asked a group of people to draw the earth and write a word above it, I believe many people would draw something similar. I could have curved the text to highlight the circular shape of the earth and played with the size of the writing in order to refine the image, but those options would have just been variations of a theme. In this image, I've moved the earth to the lower section of the image. In a lot of cases, this could make the image very unbalanced. Try to think of a canvas lying flat in front of you. When you place something on the canvas, it weighs down that one area. It's like the earth is falling off the bottom of the canvas, but the earth can have an anchor to hold it in place. The text above balances the image. It acts as an anchor that holds the earth in place. You can have an object off-center and falling off the canvas if it has a piece of text to anchor it. It gives you the opportunity to create more interesting compositions because you're placing things in unusual positions. You will notice how the rule of space can be used in this context. The text can be surrounded by space so it draws the eye to that area. Text is an excellent anchor. This is the book cover that I designed for my book, Green. The face is too far to the right of the image. If you used the diamond guide on this image, it would tell you that the composition is unbalanced and we should move the face towards the center. However, the text in this image acts as an anchor and the composition works really well. It could be suggested that text is a good anchor because it's included on a book or a poster. People are looking for the text first because they know it will provide more information about the image they are looking at. People may analyze books differently because we're used to text as a means of discovering new information. However, this can't be the only reason. If I change the text on this image to Greek, it still acts as an excellent anchor. I don't speak Greek, so I used Google to translate the text, and even though it's a foreign language, it doesn't change the composition at all. We don't need to understand the language in order for the composition to be balanced. Therefore, it isn't just about a word providing us with information and the viewer actively seeking that information. Once again, I've used Google Translate to alter the language. Now the writing is in Icelandic. It doesn't matter what language I convert the text to because the composition will still be balanced. The earth doesn't look like it's falling off the canvas. Really, all text is just a symbol. It is a collection of markings that we have learned to read, but visually there isn't anything unique about text. It is loaded with knowledge and information, but visually it is just a symbol. This means it's possible to use any visual symbol as an anchor. There are many symbols to represent peace, and I could replace the text with any of them. In this image, I've replaced the word with pictures of hands doing the peace sign. The image still conveys the same meaning, but the text has been replaced by images, and still the composition is balanced. Some symbols will alter the meaning of the work. A picture of a disc and a smiley face could be understood as a friendly reminder to save the planet. The composition is still balanced, but the concept has changed. It's amazing how much information you can get across without any text. These symbols are behaving like words, and we read them in the same way. These pictures are acting like an anchor that holds the earth on the canvas. This means that we can use anything as an anchor. It doesn't need to be text. The possibilities are unlimited. It's important to know why an anchor works. It must have weight. Imagine the canvas flat in front of you and the earth is falling off the edge. You pick up a word and it's really heavy. And when you place it on the canvas, it stretches the canvas and goes even deeper than the earth. The text is heavier and it's in a more central position on the canvas. Your heaviest elements, your anchors, they must be placed more centrally, and then you can place things around them and they will still be balanced.